What's up, guys? I'm your host, Steven, hashtag 40 Acre Addicts. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. And at 1,000 subscribers, one of you out there will be winning Jacoby Jones's glove. I want y'all to welcome the other host, Robert. What's up, boy?
What's going on?
We're here to talk Big 12 sending out a cease and desist to Oklahoma and Texas about the SEC move. Some interesting stuff, Bobby. You want to start it off on your opinion?
Well, I mean, I don't know what's really going on there. Honestly, I read some of the letter, or actually I read the whole letter that the Big 12 commissioner sent out. But personally, it makes me wonder if all these people that are talking about it happening within the next year, if that's kind of gonna go out the window. Like, are we in the contract? Does it state that we can buy out the last remaining time of the media rights, or is that something that's out of the window? It could be. We still might be able to buy out and get out of the Big 12, but at the same time, if it states, if it states in the contract agreement that we can't, then we can't. And I don't know how it's all going to go. I'm not sure. Plus, on top of that, it was the Big 12 commissioner was talking about how we know that you've talked to other schools about this, and it's supposedly it's to increase the revenue for ESPN, and ESPN is behind the whole thing. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'm sure in the coming days and weeks we'll have some clarity for sure.
Yeah. Oh, man. I think it's definitely, I know it's for sure it's going to be true news. I don't think it's fake at all.
No, I don't think it's fake.
Yeah, I know. I think that, I do think that Texas and Oklahoma are going to find a way out of it, though, whether it's through the buyout or whatever they have to do. Some of the best lawyers in America are in Texas, and I'm just saying.
You're right. You're right about that.
Texas got a lot more money than I think the Big 12 does as a whole, and with Oklahoma's support, if it had to come to court and they had to fight it, I think they might pull out, But regardless, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't get deep into that. But I would definitely say I think they're gonna find a way out of it for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find a way out of it. I know it's like you said, it's not fake news. There's no way it's fake news. It's going to come to fruition, and we will be in the SEC for sure by 2025. But I'm hoping that it happens earlier. For one, little brother can't run from a city more, and for two, all this talk about how Oklahoma and Texas can't succeed in the mighty SEC. Yet, if you look back at the records between Texas and SEC teams and Oklahoma and SEC teams, we are outwinning SEC by far. Maybe not in the college football playoff world right now, but
in all time,
history,
Texas has a winning record against every other conference.
Yeah.
Texas wins. Big part of why we are the I think second, somewhere around there for the winningest school of all time. We're in the top 3. I know for sure. I'm not sure which one we are. I want to say Penn State is the winningest, or Michigan, or Notre Dame. All those schools are in there that I just named. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know who ain't in there? Texas A&M.
That's true.
Let's move to that subject. How about A&M absolutely hating the news so much. And this is something I haven't got to bring up to you yet, Bobby. Texas A&M is the ones that actually leaked the news before Texas and Oklahoma wanted it leaked. Texas and Oklahoma did not want the news leaked until this Monday that just passed. And
Really?
yes, and A&M released this news 1 week ago on, I believe, last week's Wednesday. And guess what day it was that they did that?
What day?
Their Big 12 Media Day. They sabotaged their own Big 12, their SEC Media Day, I apologize. They sabotaged their own Media Day so that they could put really just bad juju on Texas and Oklahoma, hoping that they would have to maybe get denied. I'm not sure what their plans were, but they was definitely drinking haterade. I can say that. Yeah.
Haterade.
Haterade. Yeah, because the Houston Chronicle is actually that's Texas A&M. That's they got their hands on that. That's their shit. You know what I mean? Houston is actually, if you look at a Texas map, the college territory, Texas A&M has Houston. They don't get recruiting wise, but fan base wise, it shows it. Like if you look up any, they have them all the time, especially on ESPN, those little college maps of whose territory runs what. And Houston, Huntsville, all of where I'm from is ran by A&M.
Yeah.
And it's all just right there by College Station. It's closer to College Station than it is. You have to damn near pass College Station on your drive from Austin to Houston. So that's necessarily called Aggie Land, but I know there are plenty of Texas fans in Houston, and I guarantee you a lot more Houston fans have, Houston players and recruits have went to Texas over A&M.
Yeah.
Don't you do it. Hold up. I'll be right back. Doggy's trying to use the bathroom. That's 40 Acre Addicts for y'all. You never know what's gonna happen. So
Never.
Where were we at?
Honestly, I don't remember something about Aggies.
Oh yeah.
I don't pay attention when it comes to Aggies.
Yeah. They
I'm just kidding.
they've been hating on us, and let's bring up that interesting topic that we were talking about earlier about A&M. So everyone out there has been hating on Texas and been putting Texas on this negative spotlight for the last 11 years since they last won our conference, since we last won a conference in 2009. Let's look over to Texas A&M. Since they joined the SEC, since they joined the SEC, they have done nothing. When was the last time they won a conference championship, Bobby?
It was 1990 something, 1998 or
yes,
something
sir.
like that.
1998. That is almost 3 decades, y'all. Almost 3 decades. I think that negative attention needs to be directed somewhere else.
That is a fact.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You want to know an interesting fact about Texas A&M and Texas, Robert? How their whole recruiting thing even came about. I actually read this in a magazine, which I still wish I had. Time goes, you lose things. But you remember the last time Texas and Texas A&M played, we were living in San Angelo. We had just moved there from Houston. And we watched it at Grandma's little trailer. And we were over there watching it. before, I'm sorry, I got off topic. Before it came out, they had released ESPN released the magazine out, and the cover of it was, I believe, Jackson Shipley and then another Aggie player face to face, and the whole magazine was just a there's a fly in here trying to get me. The whole topic was darn, go on fly, go bother someone else. And the whole topic was just about the last game and their history together. Texas actually was, of course, came into existence first, but when A&M came into the picture, A&M was for all the poor kids. Like, if you were just an old farm hick boy who worked on your daddy's plantation or whatever it was they had back then you went to A&M. If you came from a wealthier family with more money, you went to the University of Texas.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of what started their rivalry, is that the A&M kids weren't good enough to go to Texas. Kind of the same thing with Texas Tech. Texas Tech is full of a bunch of Texas rejects, guys that wanted to go to the University of Texas and couldn't get in, so they had to settle for Texas Tech.
Same thing with Baylor.
Same thing with Baylor. It hasn't been like that in recent history, but in past history, that's how it definitely was, for sure.
For sure, for sure.
Man, this Big 12 move, bro, I don't even know what to think about it. Like,
yeah. So, question: What do you think is going to happen to the remaining 8 teams? Well, I mean, do you think is the Big 12 gonna implode and all 8 teams, not necessarily all 8 teams go one conference, but 4 teams go here and 4 teams go here? Or do you think some of them are going to try to follow us to the SEC? Or do you think maybe the Big 12 is going to try to pick up a couple of little cupcake schools? Because, I mean, currently they don't have no blue bloods anymore after Texas and Oklahoma are gone. But, I mean, West Virginia is not a bad school, and Iowa State has been on the trending up. And, I mean, they don't have bad, and then Oklahoma State, of course. I don't know where. I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen. I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited to see how it's going to happen. If we're going to have those 2, 3, or 4 power conferences, and the Big 12 is going to be no more, or super conferences, my bad, and or if the Big 12 is going to try to stay intact. I don't know.
I think the remaining 8 teams are going to have to join or fall off. I mean, they're going to have to join somewhere and quit, or they're going to have to join a non-Power 5 conference, which ain't going to be a Power 5 conference for the next 2 or 3 years. By 2025, everything's going to look different. By 2030, we'll be having 2 or 3 super conferences, and man, the landscape is just changing every year. And this off season, I thought last off season was crazy with COVID, but all that was really keeping us was probably from playing a season, and which we ended up getting to play the season anyway. This year has just been like, okay, COVID happened, it changed the world, let's change football. And that's what the mission has been since then. And man, like, and the coolest thing is it all started with the firing of Tom Herman and the hiring of Steve Sarkisian. That's how the year started. January 2nd or 3rd, they fired Herman, and that next day or the day after, Sarkisian was hired.
Yep.
I was nervous first when they hired him, honestly. I was really nervous. I like that he had the same name as me, but yeah, it's beyond the point.
I think Steve Sarkisian, I said the same thing about Tom Herman, but I think Steve Sarkisian is going to do what we've always wanted the new coach to do.
Yeah.
And maybe not the first year, but the first year I think we'll go every bit of 9-3, maybe 10-2 for certain in the first year, and have a really good bowl game. Probably a New Year's Six, most likely. But at the same time, I don't know when they're talking about doing this 12-team playoff expansion either. If that's, I mean, I know it's not. I don't think it's necessarily 100% certain yet, but I mean, if for some reason it happens next year and they go ahead and implement the 12-team playoff, bracket, I feel like it could very, very well. I feel like we could very well be in the playoffs next year.
Sure. I think this Arkansas game we're playing in September. I'm not gonna lie to you, Bobby. I feel like it's a setup. I feel that was premeditated for this SEC move, and that right there is going to give everybody example of Texas's first game in the SEC.
Yeah.
I think that was a setup.
I didn't even think about that.
Yep. I was actually watching Orange Blood's podcast, and that's what they were saying, and it was just like snapped, like, yep, that's a setup. Well, not a setup necessarily, that was just planned out. Very much so. Give Texas a warm-up SEC game.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna see. That's what they said. This whole season is nothing but Texas prepping itself for next season. We want to win. We want to, of course, go out with the last conference championship. Take that away from Oklahoma. We always want to go out as the winner.
Yeah.
So that is goal number one. But goal number two is prepping all these games as if they were the SEC.
Yeah.
And I also think that's why Texas, I mean, it makes so much sense. That's why Texas hired Steve Sarkisian. They knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, Texas, these talks have been in play for the last year, if not longer.
That's why they wanted an SEC coach. 100%.
Yeah, SEC background.
Yeah.
Who is a coach that has been on a national championship team, a coach that has been on an SEC championship
national
team.
championship teams.
Well, yeah.
He's one team lost to, but yeah, been in 4 national and been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we probably have one of the most experienced, well, I can't say experienced, I mean, we have a highly experienced, coach. And I'm all but excited.
Very much so. Man, I think on the cool. I think that this season, I mean, like I said, it was all premeditated. This has been in the work for a year, but I have a strong feeling that the Steve Sarkisian hire wasn't the only thing that they had. Because, I mean, all this. How long have we been talking to Arch Manning? How long has that name been out? I want to say
I don't even know.
Since somewhere in last season being played.
Yeah, every bit of it.
All right. So how short is that to? How short of a time frame is that after them possibly starting to plan this SEC move? This started a year ago, last summer. That's like a few months after. Okay. Has any Manning and that entire family played anywhere in college other than the SEC?
Wow. I didn't even think about that.
Do you think it's going to change now? Texas knew that. That's why Manning's been so interested in Texas, because they've known. I guarantee you, Arch Manning, Peyton Manning, all them, they knew ahead of time that Texas was making the move to the SEC. And that guarantees if we move 2022 to the SEC, we get Malik. We still have that whole first season in the SEC to get Arch Manning. I guarantee you he commits. As soon as we make the move, he commits. He'll probably commit before we even get to the SEC.
Yeah.
But Malik Murphy's first season in college will be in the SEC. How about that? I guarantee you he knew too. Guarantee you he knew. Quinn Ayers might even change his mind here soon, but it's gonna be. I honestly don't want him. He's done been beat by Austin's star quarterback. I can't remember if it was Lake Travis or Westlake, one of the other that he's from, but he's done whooped him in their state championship game, and now the Elite 11 he whooped him in. So, just saying, Quinn Ayers got somebody who beat him. Quinn Ayers is right down the street from me right now. He's over there in Fort Worth, Dallas area.
Yeah, South Lake Carroll.
Yeah. Man, I need more water.
So,
what are you doing?
standing at the door smoking a cigarette.
A cigarette?
A cigarette.
Cigarette?
Smoking my stick of the cancer.
Yeah, stick of the cancer. Cancer stick.
And playing Madden.
And playing Madden at the same time? You're looking in the living room through the door?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yeah, I can't wait for the college football game.
Oh man.
That's when that does come out, man. I don't know, man. I'm gonna probably not be able to get off the game.
4 days straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It better come out on a Thursday night or a Friday so I can have all weekend to play.
You're gonna look like you've aged 10 years by the time you come out. You know. Man, that's gonna be a fun game. I actually got a off-subject topic we can talk about real quick. Oh, Sammy, boy, how's he gonna do in Indianapolis?
Wait, what'd you say?
Sam Ellinger, Indianapolis.
Oh, has the draft already happened?
If you could see
Or
my
is that
face,
just where he's...
bro, if you could see my face expression right now. The draft was in April, my boy.
Oh.
You
I
know
don't pay
this.
attention to nothing, bro.
You've been out of there this year. For everyone watching, this has not been a good year for Bobby McGee. He will be better at 2022 when the SEC move happens. Please believe. But so the draft happened in April. Second round, Sam Cosby got drafted to
I don't know what the hell I was even thinking, bro. We're like a little over actually a little less than a month away from starting. Well, no.
Yes. Hell, playoffs started the preseason starts in like a week or two.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what I was thinking, bro.
Yeah. So.
Like you said, it's been a bad year.
Yeah. Second round, Sam Cosby, Washington. Third or fourth round, I want to say third round, Joseph Osai, Cincinnati Bengals. Like sixth round, Caden Stearns, Denver Broncos. Very end of the sixth round, Sam Ellinger, Indianapolis. And you know who's at Indianapolis in that quarterback room?
Who?
Okay. One is the quarterback from Georgia. I can't think of his name off the
Jake
top.
Fromm.
Huh? No, not Jake Fromm. Another one. Can't remember his name, but either way, I do not see him as a threat. He is placed ahead of Ellinger right now. Ellinger's third behind him as second string. And first string, never guess who first string is. Do you remember when Philadelphia had to replace their starting quarterback so they could go beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, Carson. No, not Carson Wentz.
Yeah, you're right. Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, isn't Carson Wentz wasn't he the starting quarterback who replaced him again?
No, he was the one who got hurt and got replaced.
Yeah, is he the one that's?
Yep, he's starting.
Oh, okay.
So he's already like 8 years in, just lost his job to Jalen Hurts at Philadelphia and got the boot. And now he's over here struggling to find a job in Indianapolis. I mean, this is Sam we're talking about. Give it mid-season. Indianapolis is 3-7. He's taking the starting role to finish the season out, and I think he's right. I think if he gets that chance, he's not giving it back to nobody.
No, that's Sam we're talking about.
Absolutely.
One of the most competitive people that I've ever fucking. I mean, I don't even know him, but.
Yeah, and not to bring any of his business out there, but I'll make it simple. After a year he's had to start, I don't think nothing's stopping that man.
No.
That Perspective just dropped a video in Instagram. We'll have to go check that out later. Yep. Man. I think the kids are starting to wake up. I can hear them. It's almost noon. I still ain't brought this phone back to Rachel. Yeah. She's probably so mad right now. Yeah, as soon as they get up, I'm gonna take the phone back. But yeah, man, I think we're gonna get Arch Manning. I think we're gonna be A-OK in the SEC. I think A&M is fixing to start getting their tails whipped again, but not just Texas, but also by Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma wants some of that too. Aggie fans like to pretend that Oklahoma is their buddy to laugh in their meeting rooms about Texas when Texas ain't in the room. But in all reality, it's like you look at two kids that are alphas in school that don't like each other, hitting Texas and Oklahoma, and then you got that wimpy kid, A&M, that walks around and follows the one big kid, Oklahoma, and does all this homework in order for protection from the other kid, Texas. And thinks they're best buddies. But in all reality, Texas and Oklahoma, even though they don't like each other, they go to the same social meetings that A&M is not cool enough to get into. And they have a few beers. And they actually have their laugh at A&M because, I mean, they're the ones that get put in the locker and their underwear put over their head. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And I know they're going to be pesteris at first, and they're going to be a big problem this first season. Maybe in a season 2 down the road, they do have Jimbo Fisher. I mean, he has won a national championship. He's not a bad coach. But on Orange Bloods, they posted from coaches talking and rating and comparing the two of Steve Sarkisian and Jimbo Fisher. Steve Sarkisian has gotten a lot more praise as a successful coach.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Jimbo Fisher has been the head coach clear over a decade. Well, we're finna end this video. because we're going to live stream it here in just a minute. For all you out there who want to watch, hopefully y'all tune into it. Remember to hit that subscribe button. 1,000 subscribers, winner gets Jacoby Jones glove. Please do that, because that is what helps us grow. We're trying to give y'all better content, and without subscribers, that just, you know, it's a dream that's just right there. You're just trying to get a hold of it. You want to say anything before we get out of here, Bobby?
Hook 'em horns and let's go to the SEC.
Yeah. Oh, and we will be attending the Rice game, so we will be live streaming from there. Tune into that. What is that date, Bobby?
I'm wanting to say September 18th, I think.
Either way, we'll be there. This is Steven. That's my boy Bobby. #40 Acre Addicts. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.